Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I want to tell a beautiful story that I experienced in my life. I never imagined that one day I'd be sitting here telling the world I met him online and got married. Yes, you heard that right, online. A few years ago, if someone had told me I'd find my soulmate through a screen, I would have laughed, maybe rolled my eyes. I used to believe that real love only happened in movies, in coffee shops, or in random encounters under a starry sky. But life had other plans. This is the story of how one click, one message, and one conversation changed everything. You might think it's crazy, impulsive, or even naive, and honestly, I thought the same at first. But love isn't always about logic. Sometimes, it's about a feeling that won't leave you alone. So, grab your coffee or tea, settle in, and let me take you on a journey, the honest, emotional, funny, and unexpected story of how I found love in the most unlikely way. 1. Lonely nights and swiping right. It all started during one of those long, lonely evenings. You know the kind when work's been stressful, friends are busy, and your heart just aches for some connection. I had just come out of a difficult phase in life. Nothing dramatic, just the quiet kind of sadness that builds up when you're surrounded by people but still feel alone. One night, I downloaded a dating app, half out of boredom, half out of curiosity. I wasn't expecting much. I wasn't even sure I believed in online dating. I created a profile, chose a few decent pictures, wrote a half-hearted bio, and began swiping. Left, 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 and then him. His profile wasn't screaming for attention, and that's exactly what caught mine. He had a quiet confidence, like someone who didn't need to prove anything. I remember thinking, he looks like someone I could talk to for hours. 2. From chat to connection. To my surprise, it was a match. We started talking. At first, the usual small talk. Where are you from? What do you do? But something about the way he responded made me pause. He asked real questions, not just about my favorite movies, but about my values, my childhood, my dreams. He listened. He didn't just wait for his turn to talk. We talked about everything from silly memes to our greatest fears. He told me stories about his family, his dog, his favorite childhood book. And slowly, without even noticing, I started opening up too. Our conversations flowed. Hours passed like minutes. We messaged constantly, morning, good mornings, lunchtime updates, and deep 2 a.m. talks about fears and futures. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like a game. It felt like we were slowly finding our way back to each other, even if we hadn't met yet. 3. Long distance, real emotions. As magical as it felt, there were still challenges. We lived miles, actually, countries apart, time zones, cultural differences, doubts from friends and family. They all added pressure. There were days we doubted ourselves. Times when buffering video calls, visa delays, or just plain loneliness made us question if it was worth it. But every time we hit a wall, we found a way to climb over it together. We celebrated small victories, like syncing our schedules or surviving a bad connection. And every night, we reminded each other why we were doing this. He once told me, "Love doesn't always come when it's convenient. Sometimes it comes when you're finally ready to believe in it." That line stuck with me. I started seeing how love isn't about constant presence. It's about consistent effort. And he showed up for me, even from thousands of miles away. 4. Meeting in person. After months of virtual love, we decided to meet. Let me tell you, meeting someone you've only known through a screen is terrifying. What if we had no chemistry in person? What if it was all in our heads? But the moment we hugged at the airport, everything fell into place. He smelled familiar. His arms felt like home. Our laughs, Our little inside jokes, they were even better in real life. We had this one moment on a park bench where we just sat in silence, holding hands. No words, no phones, no distractions, just presence. And it was perfect. Those 2 weeks felt like a lifetime and a blink all at once. When it was time to part again, we both cried not out of fear, but because we knew this was just the beginning. Every touch, every glance felt like we were rewriting all the waiting into something beautiful. He looked at me like he had been waiting for this moment his whole life, and maybe, so had I. The distance was still there, but now we had a memory strong enough to carry us through it. 5. The proposal. A few months later, he proposed. It wasn't fancy or over the top. No fireworks or flash mobs. Just a quiet evening on a video call, with him holding a small box and nervously asking, "Will you marry me?" I said yes. Through tears, through laughter, through love. It didn't matter that we weren't in the same room. What mattered was the sincerity in his eyes, the trembling in his voice, and the way my heart screamed yes before my mouth did. We started planning. Not just a wedding, a life. A shared home, shared goals, and the wild, beautiful idea of building a future from pixels and phone calls. It felt surreal. The same man I once nervously messaged hi was now the one I'd grow old with. That moment, simple as it was, became the start of forever. No grand audience, no fancy setting, just love, honest and raw, asking to be chosen. I remember staring at the ring box on the screen, my heart racing like it was the biggest decision of my life, and yet the easiest. He didn't promise perfection, just commitment, and that meant everything. It wasn't about the distance anymore. It was about closing the emotional gap for good. 6. The wedding. Yes, we got married. Not everyone understood. Some people judged. Some whispered, "It's too fast," or "It's risky." But love is always a little risky, isn't it? Our wedding was small, intimate, and full of meaning. 2 cultures, 2 families, 1 shared promise. We danced, cried, laughed, and finally, no screen between us. There was this moment during the vows, when he looked into my eyes and whispered, "We made it." And in that moment, every doubt, every long night, every delay felt worth it. We wore simple clothes, but our hearts were dressed in joy. Friends who once doubted us now clapped the loudest. The best part? We didn't just celebrate a wedding, we celebrated a journey few would dare to take. I could feel the weight of every late-night call and every "I miss you" melting into that one perfect day. Our wedding wasn't about glamour. It was about grit, growth, and grace. Looking back, I wouldn't change a thing. It was our version of magic. 7. Life after I do. Marriage isn't a fairy tale, even when it starts with a romantic story like ours. We've had arguments, misunderstandings, and challenges like any couple. But we've also had quiet mornings with coffee, silly fights over movies, and nights where we fall asleep holding hands. We learned that love doesn't mean agreeing on everything. It means choosing each other every day, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. We've created routines, shared dreams, and grown in ways we never expected. And the best part? We're still learning about love, about ourselves, and about each other. Some days, we're just 2 tired people sharing leftovers and laughing at dumb jokes. Other days, we look at each other and think, "Wow, we really did this." And every day, even the hard ones, I know I'd choose him all over again. We still keep some of our old traditions like video call date nights, even from across the same couch. Sometimes, we revisit our first chats and laugh at how awkward we were and how far we've come. This marriage isn't built on perfection, it's built on persistence and love that refuse to quit. So, what I've learned? If you're still listening, thank you, truly. I want to end with this. Love doesn't always come in the package you expect. Sometimes it shows up in a message at 1 a.m., in a face on your phone screen, or in someone who lives across the world. But when it's real, you'll feel it in your bones. Don't let fear stop you from opening your heart. Be careful, yes. Be wise, yes. But don't close yourself off to the possibility that love might find you in the most unexpected way. I met him online and got married. Not because I was desperate, not because I believed in fairy tales, but because I believed in us. And sometimes, that's enough to build forever on. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, or comment your thoughts below. I'd love to hear your story too, how you met, how you loved, how you grew. And if you're still looking for your person, hold on. Love has a strange way of finding us, even through a Wi-Fi connection. Until then, keep your heart open, your hopes high, and remember, love has no rules, just courage. If this story touched your heart or inspired you, make sure to like this video and share it with someone who might need to hear it too. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more real-life stories, love lessons, and inspiration. Join this beautiful journey, and let's keep spreading love, one click at a time. Until next time, take care, and remember, love can surprise you when you least expect it. Good luck.